y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Peachy Presh. Today I'm going to be talking all about how to grow your natural hair and how to grow it long. So I've been growing my natural hair for the past 4 years, I would say 4 or 5 years. I did the big chop in 2016. I have a whole video on that, my natural hair journey, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. You can see how I got to this length that I have here. Basically I'm going to be talking about a couple of tips that I have learned over the years on how to grow your natural hair. So the first tip is going to be to eliminate heat on your hair. Not to eliminate it entirely, but to eliminate excessive heat. When you flat iron your hair, when you blow dry your hair, when you put any type of heat on your hair, it basically fries it. So if you don't want your hair to be fried and to be dry, then don't put heat on your hair. Over the past couple of years, I have put heat on my hair a total of maybe 3 or 4 times in a span of 3 to 4 years. And my hair has been, growing a lot. So no heat on your hair, or at least eliminate excessive heat. You can put heat on your hair, but just limit it to like maybe once a year. The second tip I would say would be to moisturize your hair. Whether you're wearing protective styles, whether you are just letting your hair out like this, always moisturize your hair and moisturize your scalp. Obviously, your hair grows, from your scalp, so you want to make sure that your hair and your scalp are always moisturized with putting oils, leaving conditioners, water. Make sure that your hair is always moisturized. Trim your dead ends. That's with like anything in life. Just trim your dead ends. Make sure that you go to a professional if you don't know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, make sure that you trim your hair every 6 months, I would say, or when you see that your hair is looking a little scraggly. As y'all can tell, my ends could use some help. They could use a trim, which I will probably do a video on that. But I would say trim your dead ends basically because your hair is not going to grow if you have split ends. The next tip I would say is to wear protective styles and low manipulation styles in particular. And what I mean by protective styles and low manipulation are styles where you don't constantly have to tug at your hair, have your hands in your hair, anything like that. It's a little bit controversial with box braids. They say that box braids aren't really a protective style just because like when you have box braids, your hair is kind of being tugged and kind of being pulled when you first get your box braids in. But the most important thing when it comes to having protective styles and low manipulation styles is you always want to moisturize your hair. I can't stress it enough to have your hair moisturized and to have it hydrated. It's good for your hair because it's like a plant. So with plants, with plants, you water it so that it will grow. You do the same for your hair. You want to put nutrients in your hair to help it grow because your hair is a living organism. So with protective styling, you always want to make sure that your hair is clean and that it's moisturized, whether you're wearing wigs, whether you're wearing braids, whether you're wearing whatever type of protective style that you wear, you want to make sure that your hair is moisturized. I personally like to do mini twists in my hair. My hair is long enough in order for me to basically braid my own hair or twist my own hair and have that in for like a week, a couple of weeks, and then just go from there. But if your hair is shorter, then I would definitely suggest maybe like low buns or some type of twist or something like that. You can do like Senegalese twist or whatever. I would say that just make sure you moisturize your hair when you have these type of protective styles in and when you're doing low manipulation. So the next tip that I would say would be to deep condition your hair. This is kind of like a no-brainer with natural hair. You always want to deep condition because of course it puts that the nutrients back in your hair, the hydration back in your hair, and the moisture back in your hair. Deep conditioning, you can find any type of deep conditioning, whether it's at Target, Walmart, wherever. If it says deep conditioning on the bottle, then you want to go ahead and use that and deep condition for at least, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes. Depending on how you like to deep condition, because some people are different. Some ways you can deep condition is to, obviously lather the deep conditioner in your hair, and then you can just let it sit with the cap on for 30 to 45 minutes. Some people like to heat up their conditioner in the microwave. I don't really know about all that, or you can heat it up on the stove just to get that. The heat helps penetrate your hair shaft, so you can do that to add heat in it. Other than that, I would say those are the two ways. Just either putting deep conditioner on your hair, putting a cap over it, and sitting is good. Then you can also, I just saw this. You can also sit under the hair dryer. So basically you put the deep conditioner on your hair, you put a cap on, and then you sit under a hair dryer for 30-45 minutes. Let that sit in, let it penetrate your hair shaft. Some people like to keep their deep conditioner in for hours. Some people like to sleep in it overnight. It just all depends on what your hair needs at that time. Sometimes you need to deep conditioner a little bit longer if you have gone a longer time without deep conditioning. The key is to deep condition at least, I would say, every 2 weeks, just so you can keep your hair hydrated, make sure that it's healthy, and yeah. So those are a few tips I would say are the most important in the key elements into your hair growth. I'm sure there's other tips and tricks out there, but those are the basics, and those are the things that are going to help you the most. And actually, I understand why I didn't mention this before, but you're gonna wanna cut off any damaged ends. And I did say trimming, but when I say damaged ends, I mean any hair color damage, any heat damage, anything like that. If your hair is damaged, you basically just wanna cut off any damaged ends. I'm not saying you have to go bald, but there is an option for you. You can do transitioning. Transitioning is basically when you stop all the heat, you stop any putting any color in your hair, just allow your hair to just grow. You can still do the same steps. You can always deep condition. You can keep your scalp moisturized. Continue to do that. Continue to do low manipulation styles, and your hair is going to grow out. Your natural hair is going to grow out, and then the ends are going to be like maybe straighter. They might be colored, whatever the case may be. As you transition, you're going to cut the dead ends off little by little, or you can just grow it all out and then just chop the dead ends off after you completely transition. This can take a really long time. So honestly, your best bet, well, I can't say what's good for your hair, but for me, I just decided to do the big chop. I feel like it's faster with seeing your hair growth. When you cut off all the damage and cut off all the dead ends, it's easier to see like your hair grow over like a span of 3 months. If you're doing the things that you need to do to aid in your hair growth, once you cut off those dead ends, your hair is gonna grow like a weed. Like I said, your hair is like a plant. It's a living organism. You feed it, you water it, you do everything that you need to do in order for it to get to that point, then your hair is always going to grow. So that's pretty much it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, clicking on this video. Once again, please like this video, comment whatever you want to comment. Hey girl, hey, what's up? How you doing? You know, you looking cute today, whatever you want to comment. And then always please subscribe to this video, or excuse me, subscribe to my channel. I would love the support. And yeah, so thank y'all so much for tuning in. Peace.